In this video, we shall see about the arithmetic operations on NumPy arrays. So let me create an array, import NumPy as np a equal to np dot array function, and within that I'm just going to give a list of 4 elements. So let me create a similar array b equal to np dot array function, and let me give a list of 4 elements. So here in this case, what we are having is we are having 2 arrays. Both are one-dimensional arrays, so the dimensions are equal, and then they are also having the same number of elements. So now let me write print np dot add, and I can also write a comma b. So here we are adding the 2 arrays, and now let me run. So for this the result will be out. So the first element of the first array is added to the first element of the second array. Similarly, the second element is added up with the second element of the second array. It just goes on. And in case if the dimensions are not equal, so what will happen? Suppose I'm having here only 3 elements. So what I will do is I will just remove one element from this. And now let me run the program. So there is a variation in the output. So even though the dimensions are equal, but still the number of elements are different. So what happens? You are not able to add the arrays together. And now we shall see about the next example. Suppose the same thing holds true for 2 dimensions as well. 2 dimensions means array with more number of rows and columns. They are also called as matrices. So I have already imported, so I need not write import numpy as np. So let me create another array C, and this C is, I will just write np dot array function, and then let me create an array from list. So this is the outer list, and now I'm just going to write 1 comma 2, and then I'm just going to have 3 comma 4. So this I'm going to have it in another list. So we are supposed to put this in another outer list. And C is an array that is already created. And let me also create another array D. In this array, let me have np dot array, and I'm just going to have the same way. I will just create 1 comma 2, and then I'm going to have 3 comma 6. Okay, so similarly I will close the list here. So we are supposed to have an outer list, and inside the outer list each element of the list should be also a list for the array to be generated. Okay, we are having 2 arrays, C and sum equal to C plus B. I'm just using the arithmetic operator here. What is sum? Sum is a variable to which the addition of C and B will be assigned. So I will just write here C plus D. These 2 arrays should be added. So after that I have to print sum, otherwise the result will not be displayed. So let me print sum. Now let me run the program. Without any difficulty, you got the output. Okay, now arrays which are not of equal size, then NumPy applies broadcasting operation on the arrays, after which it just gets added up, or whatever operation that the user wants to do, it is applied on the arrays. Suppose that broadcasting operation NumPy is not able to apply on the given array, then we are just we will just get landed in some error statement like this. So first we need to know when that broadcasting operation can be applied. In this case, we are having an array C which is having 2 rows and 2 columns. And we are having another array D, which is having just 1 row and 2 columns. I'm just printing the C dot shape and D dot shape, and I'm also printing the array CD. So let me run the program, and this is the shape of the first array and the shape of the second array. 2 rows, 2 columns, and here we are having 1 row and 2 columns. So in this case, what NumPy will do is, in this, whichever array is having a lesser size. In this case, the second array having a lesser size. So this particular one is increased to match the size of the first array. If it is 1 only, it will get increased. Suppose if it is having 3 means it will not increase. So it is 1 means it will just get increased to match the size of the first array. So what it will do, whichever array is having this 1, 2, now that 1 more row will get inserted there. So it becomes 2 rows and 2 columns. So from where that second row will get the value means, in broadcasting, NumPy will do internally this particular thing. It will just create another row, just duplicating the value of the first row. So here 1 more row is created, just duplicating the value of the first row, and then it just performs the addition. Okay, this NumPy will do internally. Here I had just written it for you, but NumPy will do it internally. So, and just performs the addition. The first row, first value will be added up with the first row, first value of the second array. The same way it just gets added up. The second row, first value will be added up with the second row, first value of the second array. Similarly, a 2 by 2 array will get generated. So now if you perform the addition, it just works. So here what you do, actually, I'm just going to write C plus D. C plus D. Let me run the program. See, the result arises. But even without me writing this, okay, if I'm just going to run the program, the result remains the same, because whatever I did here, whatever I visually did and showed you, that's what NumPy is doing internally. The broadcasting operation is done internally. So simple thing that you have to understand is, whichever array is having less size, and if that particular rows or if that particular columns is having 1 as value, then what is happening means broadcasting operation is applied. So what is broadcasting operation? Just duplicating the first row and putting it as the second row or third row. In this case, if I'm having here 3 other than 1, if I have any other value, then the broadcasting operation will not be applied. Suppose here what I'm going to do, for the sake of understanding, I'm just going to increase the size. Maybe I'm just going to make it 3, 2. Okay, so here the size will become 3 rows and 2 columns. And here what I'm going to do, I'm just going to increase it to 2 rows and 2 columns. So now you see, so here the first array is having 3 rows and 2 columns. The second array is having 2 rows and 2 columns. That was both the columns are equal and fine. But in this case, the rows are not equal. In case if any of the rows are having 1, in stitching the row of the array that has less value to match the size of the array that is having more value. But in these cases, that operation cannot be performed since they are not having 1. So now if I perform print C plus D, will addition be performed? No, it will not perform. An error appears.